Hi there, thanks for joining us. In this video, we're going to be talking about immigration marriages and marriages of convenience and 5 ways to prove that your marriage is genuine and is not an immigration marriage. This is particularly important for Canadian permanent residents and Canadian citizens who are wanting to sponsor their spouses who are not themselves Canadian permanent residents. We'll have much more on this after the break. Do remember to hit the subscribe button and to check us out on our website at go.gooselaw.com. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome back. My name is Donovan Francis. I'm a Canadian immigration lawyer and I help skilled workers inside Canada and outside Canada become Canadian permanent residents without having to deal with all of the complicated immigration forms that are part of that process. If you're a Canadian permanent resident or a Canadian citizen and you're looking to sponsor your foreign national spouse so that that spouse can become a Canadian permanent resident, then you want to ensure that at the time the application is being processed by the Canadian immigration authorities, that your marriage to your spouse is found to be genuine. You want to ensure that your marriage is not found by the immigration authorities to have been an immigration marriage, as it is commonly known, or a marriage of convenience, as it is described by legal practitioners. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 ways in which you can help to reduce the likelihood of your marriage to being found to be a marriage of convenience. And so first and foremost, you want to ensure that where there has been financial support between the spouses, that you provide sufficient documentation to show that this financial support existed. So you want to show if you had a joint bank account, you want to include documents from statements from this account in your application to help to show that you've been providing financial support over time, where one party was sending remittances to the other party. You want to include receipts of those remittance payments to your spouse, just to help to bolster the application to show that there has been financial support. Similarly, if there's any other kind of financial arrangement between you, whether it be in the form of insurance document, if you have any kind of shared joint insurance policy, then you want to include a copy of that as well to support the application. Secondly, you want to ensure that if whatever communications you've had between yourselves, that is included as much as possible in the application. Remember, the whole point of doing this is to show that you've been in a relationship over a sustained period of time and that this relationship is genuine. So even where your marriage might have happened fairly recently, you want to show a history of having been in a relationship together. And so another way of doing this is by providing evidence of the communications you've been having with each other over time. You know, and that can be evidence in the form of printouts from your WhatsApp messaging, text messaging, written letters, if you're still into writing letters, emails, whatever communications you would have had over time between each other. That communication may be valuable in helping to show that your marriage is genuine, and that's going to be important. It's also going to be important to show, to provide evidence where you've lived together. Evidence proving that you've lived together may be a copy of your lease agreement if you leased property together. It may be a copy of property ownership documents if you jointly own property. If you've not owned property, you've not leased property, then you might have utility bills that have both your names on them. These kinds of documents will show that you've lived together, where you've lived together, and that may be beneficial in helping to show that you've had a relationship over time, and by virtue of that, that your relationship is genuine. You also want to show that your relationship developed over time. You want to provide proof to show how your relationship developed over time. And a good way of doing this is often by providing copies of travel itinerary where you've traveled together. If you've traveled together at different times to different destinations, the travel itinerary is going to be helpful. Similarly, copies of your airline tickets where you've traveled together, that's also going to be helpful. If you have pictures, photographs of yourselves together at a specific time, a specific point in time, and at specific locations, then including these pictures will help to bolster your application and will help to substantiate your claim that your marriage is genuine and that your relationship developed over time. Finally, you also want to ensure that you are clear and that you've brushed up on your knowledge of each other. Yes, we know that the fact that you're in a relationship and that you're married, then the assumption will be that you know a lot of intimate details about each other. But the truth is that at the point in time that your application is being processed, the Canadian immigration authorities will likely do an interview with with both parties separately. And they will want to know that your stories are consistent, you know, and that your understanding and your knowledge of each other correlates with the information that each party is sharing and with the information that the immigration authorities have. So you will want to ensure that you're adequately knowledgeable about each other and that you're prepared to undergo an interview just to check on the genuineness of your marriage. And so I hope you found this video to be useful, and do remember to hit the subscribe button and to check us out on our website at go.gooselaw.com.